I don't know exactly what year it was, but it was early '90s. Um, I had I had seen them come. I'd seen them play many times. I saw them play at what used to be called the Desert Sky Pavilion. I saw them play at Compton Terrace. These are all in Arizona. I saw them play at the old Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Um, Twice at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. One night was it was the county fair, the state
That
fair.
was a great show.
I mean, that was an amazing show. Nirvana was playing the next night,
That's right.
and I was gonna first Nirvana was announced, and I was gonna go see them, and then SDP was announced, and I was like, I'm gonna go see SDP. I'm not gonna go see Nirvana, and it was great. I mean, these guys, I've seen them many times, and I mean, I must have been in like eighth grade freshman year of high school,
That is so great.
and I've been a devoted fan ever since. Really respecting what these guys do, and obviously, the show that they put on. I mean, they were the best, amongst the best live acts in the world at that time. It was a really special time in music too. I mean, you had Nirvana, Chili Peppers, SDP, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I mean, it was like all these freaking amazing artists that also could perform live were all crushing it at that time. Cry Cry was an interesting song because I was at home and I started playing that opening riff, and the melody came right away. I came in to the studio that day. I think I came home from the studio the day before, wrote it at my house, came in the next day, and I was, we were recording, and I was just kind of playing it. The guys were like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, I just wrote this thing last night." And next thing you know, we're recording the song. I mean, it was like, it was literally like, "What's that?" "Okay, show me." And I played it, and then it was like, we're in there recording it. I mean, that's how it was, that's how things were going. And so we recorded it. I mean, we kind of worked out some parts, and one of my favorite moments was the original kind of chord progression I had for like the pre-chorus and chorus. Dean was like, "No offense, but I kind of want to play it like I kind of want to like, these are little," and I'm like, "Easy, yeah, like I'm not a guitar player, so please, like I'm bringing in the ingredients for the cake. You're the pastry chef, like I just go get the eggs and the flour. You know what I mean?" So Dean very quickly like put some magic,
put on his Deanisms.
put some magic on there. Yeah. With Linkin Park, it's me and Mike, and with me, it's like I'm just telling the story that I want to create, and I think what's benefited me as a writer is that I have worked with Mike, and Mike is not pleased easily, and neither is anybody else in the band, and so you write it, you read it, and I kind of carried a little bit of Mike into my head with me as I was writing these words, going, "Dude, this probably could be better. Nope, this, let's do this again," many times on each song, even down to like the day where we're recording, and I've already written words out and I've had them, and I go, hold on, guys, I need to go back in here and fix this because it's not right yet. In that sense, I carried a little bit of the same with into SDP, but in Linkin Park, like it's me and Mike writing, and I'm writing a story, and Mike's writing a story. We don't say let's write about this. We just listen, pick a melody we like, and then he starts writing, and I start writing, and he goes, "What do you have?" And I go, "Nothing good yet. What do you have?" He's like, "I don't know. I was hoping you'd say you had something." And this will go on for hours and days, sometimes months, even in the course of the whole 18 months of the process of making a record. For me, it's like I love the music that these guys have created. So for me, it was like a long time ago. I kind of, when things were kind of hairy within SDP, it was about 10 years ago. I jokingly said to my wife, I said, I have a feeling these guys are going to give me a call one day. Because I said to her, I go, "There's nobody else that can do this. There's nobody else that can do this the right way." And, I said that because I honestly didn't think there was anybody else that could do it. And if they were going to move forward, in my mind, the obvious choice would be me. And so, we kind of laughed about it. And, 10 years later, here we are. And it's because I know that I can honor the legacy of the band and bring the fans a show that is an STP show, and do it with respect. For us, it was like a lot better for us to jump right into the creative process as opposed to like, let's announce that we're doing this and then just go play a bunch of shows where we're doing, playing all the songs everybody knows. We need to go out, write music, say we're doing this, and then deliver new material immediately. We can't wait a year. And that's what we did, and I think it helped us bond. We all became very close friends very quickly, and things started moving in a way that was really healthy, and really creative, and kind of the environment all around. I think for these guys has changed, So that's what we want the fans to experience. And I'm up on stage with these guys, and I see them loving the performances and having the joy that they have in doing what they do best. I have the best seat in the house. So it's like I get to be up there and watch these guys play and sing the songs, but it's really been a very positive and very moving experience for all of us. This one in particular, the riff was for Blackheart was so great, and it had so much vibe, and melodies were very easy for me to come up with, for all the songs actually. But this one in particular, lyrically, was this story about this predator who takes advantage of his mojo, and very obviously in the song, I think people can figure out what the song's about. But one of the lines that does stick out for me the most is that line: "The color is all but faded out of a dead man's eyes down to his blackened heart." And I think that line really represents, for me, in the character of this guy who is basically like a serial killer. That moment at which he takes the life from his victim, and that victim sees the inhuman side of that character, and it kind of just really made me think of like some Beatles songs, that kind of sound really happy and fun, and it's really about this guy who beats his girlfriend or something, and you're just like, whoa, I never paid attention to that before, but that was dark, and that was kind of, I think that's one of the highlights of the song for sure.
I very humbly want to answer that question because it's pretty bold to put us in the same vein or sentence or kind of world as Van Halen. Those guys were pretty influential rock and roll band, and Eddie, of course, was very influential in electric guitar. But the real beauty of it is that when Dave left and Sam came along, people who loved them had the beauty of listening to Dave's new stuff. He had a solo career. Eddie and Sammy and Michael and Alex were doing their thing, and the same thing kind of resonates here. Scott's moving forward with making music. We wish him the absolute very best, and people who really love him can still listen to him and his music that he puts forth. Look, I'm not here to convince anybody that this is what we dig doing. If you don't like it, just go do something else. This has been like I said earlier, man. This belonged to Chester. This might have been written 1,000 years ago. I don't know, but I can tell you, man. It's like for me, it's heaven and hell, and I like standing next to an angel right now. I'll tell you, all these tracks. I just will say about all these tracks. On many sessions before, there was material that was brought in, that was written years earlier. Where this session, everything was written then and there. Robert picked up a bass and out came Out of Time, literally in moments. Tomorrow, I wrote that in minutes. Picked up a guitar, sitting at Robert's house, which was really inspirational. Bang, came out. Did Blackheart come along pretty quickly for you too?
It came kind of about when we were rehearsing that time.
Yeah.
There's just to continue on that. I
Yeah.
think briefly, having that new energy with Chester was really inspiring.
It was a shot in the ass.
It's like really a chance to move forward. Right at that time, I had gotten some old vintage basses I was going to buy, and I started picking them up, and they were really inspiring instruments. And, you know, it's like with any instrument, you know, you get inspired to kind of tell that story with that instrument, that specific one. And it was an old 68 Fender jazz bass, and that's really kind of what came out when I picked that bass up. Just started playing that, and I sent it over to Chester and said, check this out, and sent it to Dean and sent it to everyone, Eric. And
once you hear a riff like that, I mean, when you ask about the direction, there's one direction with a riff like that. It's just full throttle.
yeah, fifth gear.
It's just, you know, when can you put in something else to slow it down or to add in some other colors and flavors? But the main riff was just gung-ho and let's take it, let's do this.
It's incredible to see, because there are literally two groups of people coming together from one age of the spectrum to the other age of the spectrum, and you know, everybody's enjoying music, and you know, that's the thing is the four of us have never taken ourselves out of the point of view of being a fan, and that's what keeps you grounded and keeps you on track with what people want from a live show. You know, and I think that's very important. I think when people lose sight of what it's like to be a fan, I mean, there's something about being artsy and everything, but, you know, people want to come and hear loud music and hear the songs that they grew up listening to. That means a lot to them. You know, so that's really the main aim here, is to, you know, continue on even stronger than we were before with a focus. It's incredible to see, because there are literally two groups of people coming together from one age of the spectrum to the other age of the spectrum, and you know, everybody's enjoying music, and you know, that's the thing is the four of us have never taken ourselves out of the point of view of being a fan, and that's what keeps you grounded and keeps you on track with what people want from a live show. You know, and I think that's very important. I think when people lose sight of what it's like to be a fan, I mean, there's something about being artsy and everything, but, you know, people want to come and hear loud music and hear the songs that they grew up listening to. That means a lot to them. You know, so that's really the main aim here, is to, you know, continue on even stronger than we were before with a focus.